All right, here we go. Back at it again, getting ready for the weekend coming up with action at Keeneland on Friday and Saturday as we're about 11, 12 or 11 days away from what we call the final exams, right? Your Breeders' Cup World Championships where all of your wagering dreams come true. All right, well, let's get started and take a look at what's happening this weekend. Friday and then Saturday from Keeneland. So on Friday, we're going to go with the Grade 2 Valley View Stakes. 1 mile on the turf, race number 9 on the card. There's a lot happening with this particular race in terms of, speed and class going a mile on the turf course. Admit to the inside, we'll get back to that. Play with Fire coming off the layoff, closing. Ramsey Pond has a little bit of speed to offer. Vixen, Vixen can be forwardly placed, but I don't expect them to be. Sturgeon Moon is stretching out, going to the turf for the first time, so that'll be intriguing. They might be forwardly placed. Classic Q definitely has speed and will be out there. Something about her, probably going to be in a pressing stalking position. Raining Flowers will be closing. Tabidi is a horse that's stretching out, so I expect them to maybe be a little bit closer to the pace. Stormy Paradise also stretching out, should be up close to the pace. Totally Justified also has early speed. Mayday Ready also has early speed. I don't expect any of the alsos to get in because they usually don't, so I'm not really paying attention to them. Although the 13 Golden Sunshine might draw in and be intriguing. So with all of the runners that I believe will be in here, it's a great opportunity, in my opinion, to take a chance on a price. Hottest jockey in the country right now is no doubt the old man, Johnny V. And he's going to be aboard Admit for the first time. They're going to be turning back in distance. And I don't have a problem with the performance going a mile and an eighth and that mile, that 1 and 5/16. Don't have a problem with any of those. What I really like is the mile performance at Churchill Downs. And if you go back and look at the times that this filly has gone a mile on the synthetic at Turfway Park, very effective. So the mile distance on the turf, I think, is perfect for her. Yes, she will have to step up a little bit to deal with some of the runners here in this race, but 20 to 1 morning line. You give me Johnny V, who's making everything work out, especially at prices when you don't expect it, and you give me a horse that's a filly that's kind of going in the right direction and has room to improve, and I think we'll like the turn back. Yeah, man, I'll take that all day long. We'll take that 20 to 1, and we'll take Admit in the Valley View. From that particular point, we're going to move on to Saturday, because Saturday at Keeneland's got two really nice races. Race number 8 on the card is going to be the Grade 3 Bryan Station. That's Saturday at Keeneland, 1 mile on the turf. You can take a look at your runners here as we start to the inside with Macero. Macero is going to be closing, most likely going a mile on this Grade 3 event on the turf. Golden Afternoon's got a little bit of early pace, second off the layoff. Wouldn't be surprised if he's forwardly placed. Antisocial, Luis Saez likes to be in the mix, so they'll be up there in the second flight. Troubleshooting is another runner that probably has some speed. I don't expect Tyler Gaffalione to be out there on the front end, but I think they'll be in that second flight as well. Uh-oh, who's number 5? Final Gambit. Uh-huh. Dream On is the 6th. Deep Closer has a great turn of foot. Game Warrior also going to close. Tenacious Leader has some speed, and it's Johnny V again. Very dangerous because there's not a tremendous amount of early pace in here. Giacoso, excuse me, is a runner that I think really will take to the mile on the turf at Keeneland. Has been running very well. Last 2 times out against really nice competition, he was right there. Simulate, closer. Plensa, deep closer. Salamis, closer. Now, day and age, the 13, if they draw on some speed, the 14, Calvin's Ride has speed, 15, Jimmy's Dailies has speed. They probably won't get into the race. I wish that they would, though, because the more speed, the better for my horse. Come on now. You know who I'm dealing with. I always feel like this horse, the Derby situation for this horse was just one of those experiments that was fun to watch. And it's one of those situations where you would hope that everything would kind of fall into his lap. It didn't quite. He had some traffic situations, and when he finally got out there, he was just a little bit too late. You weren't going to beat Sovereignty on that day in the Kentucky Derby. But Final Gambit is a runner that has always shown promise. We know this. I think now shortening up on the turf might be a bit more to his liking and gives him a bit more speed to run at. He's got a great turn of foot. I love Luan Machado getting back aboard. I think that makes a difference as well. So that's where we're going to go. Final Gambit, that's our boy. We're going to pick him in the Grade 3 Bryan Station Stakes. That's coming up on Saturday from Keeneland. Right after that, race number 9, it is the Fayette Stakes. Mile and an eighth, main track, race 9, Grade 3 event. Lambeth to the inside. You know what? He's got a little bit of speed, but I don't think he wants to control anything going a mile and an eighth on the dirt here. But he could be forwardly placed. Anna Marie, deep, deep closer. Bracket buster, there's Johnny V with speed again. Super dangerous. But Dilger, the 4 has speed. Moonlight is a deep closer. You know what? He's got room to improve, and stepping up against this level of competition, he's definitely interesting, and he's got value. Rattle and Roll, we know what he does. He's a deep closer. He doesn't show up all the time, but when he does, he's dangerous. Best actor. Nice rating type horse. I expect them to be sitting just off the pace. Prince of Power has speed, needs to go. Dragoon Guard has speed, needs to go. Gosker, okay, I'm going to go ahead and let that Pennsylvania Derby thing go, and hopefully Gosker is back, and he could be dangerous. And then there's Hit Show all the way to the outside. He's very similar to Best Actor, Rattle and Roll, those kind of horses that they need a setup. And I believe in this situation, we're going to get it. Hit Show is where I'm going to go here in this event, going a mile and an eighth on the dirt at Keeneland. It's the number 11 horse in race number 9. What I like so much about Hit Show is the consistency with the closing kick. When they decide that they're making their move, they make that move. And now with Irad Ortiz Jr. in the irons, they're a closing runner, but I think sometimes these closers give themselves too much to do. And I think that that'll put, with Irad in the irons, maybe Hit Show's a tiny bit closer, or maybe they get better position early on, and that makes all the difference when they unleash that ridiculously powerful turn of foot on their way home. So there we go. Prices in all 3 of the races, right? We get a price trying to get Johnny V with Admit in the Valley View on Friday at Keeneland, then trying to get our boy Final Gambit to come through. He'll be in the Bryan station coming up on Saturday at Keeneland. And then, of course, you've got the Fayette coming up, and we'll try to make some things happen there with Hit Show on Saturday. Those are the 3 selections. We're getting closer and closer to final exams. Let's continue to try to build the bankroll and increase and enhance our confidence level. All right? There you go. In the meantime, in between time, until next time, that's how we do it here on Horse Race Bets. I'm Ken Rudolph. Hey, good luck and enjoy whatever you're into. We'll see you again tomorrow.